I think we're ready to start right at 9:30. So first of all, thank all of you for coming. We're so pleased to see a good turnout on such a beautiful day. For those who don't know me, I'm Mike Rucker. I'm the chairman of the Trail Advocates for Central Illinois. That organization was formerly known as Friends of the Rock Island Trail. And about 2 years ago, we merged into Bike Peoria to give strength to both organizations. And so that's who we are now. So what do? We're volunteers. We help maintain the trails in the area. We do more than just the Rock Island Trail and the Rock Island Greenway now, because we're working with a number of different communities on their trail building and trail maintenance. So we also occasionally put up a shelter, such we have at Alta. We built that. And also occasionally benches and just various maintenance on trails. And the other thing we do is lobby. Our mayor is laughing because they know what we do. And I just told her that now, starting now, we're going to lobby to get the trail, the Greenway, extended beyond Park Street, where it now ends, because the city still owns the right-of-way all the way down to Adams Street. We're now going to lobby to have that extended all the way down. So that's just one of the trails we're working on, and I think it's a very significant one. So with all that, I should probably say something about the Rock Island State Trail. That goes all the way, as you probably know, up to Toulon. And that was opened in 1990. And the people who really got that going were, of course, Bill Rutherford, you remember him very well, and George Blumenshine, and George Burrier. And George served as president of the Friends of the Rock Island Trail from 1986 to 2015, when I kind of, I won't say replaced him because he's irreplaceable, but we're now erecting a bench at Alta for George in his honor. Apparently he couldn't be here today. But so that's what we're doing there. So without further ado, I will start the introduction of our luminaries who are here, and starting with Mayor Ali, who's a great trail supporter. And here's what I want to say about her. After serving 2 years as an at-large council member, Dr. Rita Ali was elected mayor of Peoria in April 2021, becoming the city's first woman and first woman of color to serve in that role. Dr. Ali promised to serve as a full-time mayor and retired from her position as vice president of workforce and diversity at Illinois Central College, where she earned statewide recognition for strong and effective equity-focused programming. She led efforts to establish ICC's first international center and launched a comprehensive, aggressive strategy to effectively recruit and retain students of color in college. Her book, titled Role Models, Profiles of Successful African American Professionals in Peoria, Illinois, features 126 professionals representing 115 different occupations. It was designed to inspire Peoria's youth and young adults. Mayor Ali is involved in many local civic and community activities, including the Tri-County Regional Planning Commission and countless other roles. Mayor Ali is leading a bipartisan, multi-regional effort to bring passenger train service to Peoria and Central Illinois. She intends to put Peoria on a pathway to become a smart city. You'll be hearing that more and more these days, right? And she's working with key stakeholders to equip Peoria citizens with high-demand workforce skills and local careers. Mayor Ali earned a Bachelor of Arts in Human Services Management from the University of Illinois, Springfield, and a Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration, and Doctor of Philosophy from Bradley University, Walden University, and Capella University, respectively. And of great importance to us at this event, she's a great advocate of recreational trails and bicycle and pedestrian access. Mayor Ali, thank you so much for coming.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Rucker, for that very nice and generous introduction. I feel like now I need to give a keynote speech. No, actually, I'll be quite brief. You can always tell it's a great day when so many people come out. This is certainly a reason to celebrate today. And I want to thank Don Johnson, Mr. Johnson, and Goodwill for hosting this celebration and press event this morning. The beautiful brochure here gives a lot of great information about the Rock Island Greenway and the history. And, you know, you mentioned Bill Rutherford, and I remember his work very well. In fact, I was a trustee for the Peoria Park District, kind of at the time when a lot of this got started. So I have some very fond memories there. Thank you to the trail advocates for Central Illinois, also Bike Peoria for the volunteerism that takes place in terms of the maintenance and care of the Rock Island Trail and other trails in our area, for the advocacy that you've provided, and even the lobbying. It makes a difference. It really makes a difference. Today, we celebrate the extension of the Rock Island Trail from Harvard Avenue to Park Street. The total cost of the project was $2.2 million, and $710,000 of that came from ITEP, which is the Illinois Transportation Enhancement Program, so it's state money. The rest of that $2.2 million came from the city budget, which means it came from you, the taxpayers. The people are paying for this project. Construction began in July of 2021 and concluded 1 year later this past July 2022. The extension now stops at Park Street, but as Mr. Rucker indicated, the trail is planned to extend to the riverfront in the future. Yes. So I talked to our city manager, Mr. Patrick Urick is in the back there, and he's working very passionately to try to pursue additional funding so that we can get this trail extended to the riverfront. Thousands of people currently use the Rock Island Trail every year. And I just want to thank and commend all those that have had a hand in making this extended trail possible. It's good for Peoria, it's good for Greater Peoria, and it's good for Central Illinois. So thank you very much.
Next, Robert Johnson Sr. is president of the Board of Trustees of the Peoria Park District. The official name, of course, of the organization is the Pleasure Driveway and Park District of Peoria. Robert recently was elected to the Illinois Association of Park Districts Board of Trustees, which is a great honor. Congratulations, President Johnson. As an IAPD trustee, Johnson will assist the association with its mission of advancing Illinois park districts, forest preserves, conservation, recreation, and special recreation agencies and their ability to preserve natural resources, I like that, natural resources, and improve the quality of life of all people of Illinois. He will work with the 19-member board to advise the association in providing service, research, advocacy, and public awareness and educational programs to its membership of 350 park, recreation, and conservation agencies and nearly 100 affiliated business partners. And thank you, Robert, for being a great trail advocate.
Well, good morning, everyone. How are you all doing today? I'm very happy to be here today. I'm very, very proud of our Peoria Park District. I just want you all to know that. I've been here 27 years under the tutelage of Bonnie Noble. I don't know if you all remember her, a very trailblazer. She helped us also with the $1 million that we built the bridge across Knoxville, and it's been very great. I'm just excited about our parks. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the wonderful cooperative partnership between the Peoria Park District and the City of Peoria. Today is a great example of that collaboration. Peoria is the oldest park district in Illinois. The Peoria Park District is proud to support our community with the ownership and maintenance of more than 9,000 acres of public held land. Our park district is one of the top park systems in the nation based on its ratio of open space holdings to population. We are a 4-time winner of the prestigious National Recreation and Park Association Gold Medal Award. This is nationally. And one of only 8 Illinois park districts to be accredited a distinguished park district. Our amenities and offerings rival those in communities like Charleston, South Carolina, Miami, and Tampa, Florida, and San Diego, California, the majority of whom have at least double the population of Peoria. I am proud to be here today to celebrate the restoration and renovation of the Trestle Bridge, which improves the connectivity of the Rock Island Greenway. Our Peoria Park District maintains more than 52 miles of trails across woodlands and bluffs and across our 30 different parks. The Rock Island Greenway is special and is critical to our community's identity. While it's functioned as a recreation for bikers, runners, and hikers, it is also a transportation link for bikers to and from work destinations. The trestle makes the connection between our bustling downtown and the many amenities in the central and northern parts of our community. I look forward to more collaboration to come as we continue to collaborate to prioritize pedestrian and connectivity in our community. I would finish by thanking the volunteers of the Bike, Peoria, and Central Illinois Trail Advocates for all you do to promote and support our trails and bikeways. And I would be remiss, Mike Rucker, you've given us all our accolades. I remember you when, 27 years we've been working together, and you've been a great advocate for our community. And Bill Rutherford, we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. My staff is here also. I see you guys want to hold your hands up back there. They make it work. They do a great job. I'm very proud of our staff. Our executive director, Emily Cahill, over there in the corner. Oh, I have another fellow board member. Okay, Laura. We thank you all because I'm proud of our park district. I was a Boy Scout here. I slept on the land at Camp Wakanda. I had no idea 50 years later I would be responsible for buying that piece for the park district. But then again, thank you again. Thank you all again. And without further ado, Mr. Riggenbach.
Tim Rickenbach has represented the 3rd District on the Peoria City Council since 2009. Tim advocates for strong neighborhoods. He regularly attends the meetings of neighborhood associations, homeowner associations, and neighborhood watch groups. Tim is a vice president and senior financial advisor at Merrill Lynch in downtown Peoria and has worked in the finance industry for over 25 years. Tim was born and raised in the Peoria area. He received his bachelor's degree in business administration from Illinois State University. Him and his wife, Barbara, were married July 1995 and have lived in Peoria since 1997, where all 5 of his children have attended Peoria Public Schools. And Tim knows that recreational trails strengthen neighborhoods and has always been a great advocate for trail and bicycle access. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Don and Goodwill, for hosting us here, and good to see so many people out on a day like this. You know, when Mike showed me what he was going to say, talking about my advocacy for trails, I kind of smiled because when I was in high school, which was back in the 70s, you can do the math, that's when the Rock Island Trail was first starting to get some steam, and there was a state representative who will remain nameless, who was very much opposed to that. She lived down in Wyoming and was very opposed to it. So as a high school kid, my civics teacher, Bill Getman, encouraged me to write a letter to the editor of the Journal-Star advocating for the Rock Island Trail. And again, like Mr. President Johnson said, who would have thought all those years later I'd be standing here as we're connecting the important link of that trail. So going all the way from Toulon to Park Avenue, and soon you see the new McCluggage Bridge being built. Just think what that's going to open up for us. And it's a huge bridge, and bicycle access is a key part of that, thanks to the advocacy of many. And I see Brent Baker over there kind of smiling about that as well. So we just thank everybody for their efforts in getting us here, because you look at this history of the Greenway, 1984, 1993, 2010, 2014. Those dates, while many of us remember those like it wasn't that long ago, it's taken a lot of effort to get here. So it isn't just because of the people who have the idea, but it's because of the people who do the work and the advocacy day in and day out. So I'm thrilled to be here representing the 3rd District along with the mayor, the city. And we just thank the Park District for the partnership that we've been able to establish and all those responsible. So thank you very much.
I'm looking for my notes for Eric Miller, but I'm not finding them. But everyone knows Eric Miller. He's the executive director of the Tri-County Regional Planning Commission, which is an extremely important organization working with all 3 counties, and does a great job of advocacy for trails and bike lanes and things like that. So without further ado, Eric.
I'll try to keep it low-key. My comments will be very brief. First of all, thank you to the city and the Park District for continuing this vision that was started many, many years ago. Tri-County Regional Planning Commission is the MPO, the Metropolitan Planning Organization for our region. And one of our charges, our main charge, is to provide transportation funding, federal transportation funding to many good projects. And obviously, this was one of the recipients of some of that federal transportation funding, so we are happy to see that. Thank you also to Bike Peoria and Trail Advocates for being a constant and consistent voice for active transportation that is much needed. In 1994, Tri-County Regional Planning Commission created the first Regional Greenways and Trails Plan. And back in 1994, as Councilman Riggenbach mentioned, this room would have been filled with people opposing greenways and trails as opposed to supporting them. So we've come a long way over the almost 30 years in the trail business. When we go out and work with communities in developing comprehensive plans, the first thing that they'll mention is access to trails and active transportation issues. And that's very important. We've been building highways for about 50 years. It's time to sort of build complementary transportation for our more active community, and that's what we intend to do. There are many projects that have been that are being planned and implemented over the region since 1994 as it relates to bicycle trails and paths and active transportation. There's going to be many more on the horizon. We're thrilled to see that both the Bob Michael Bridge and the McCluggage Bridge will have 14-foot dedicated bike paths on there so we can get across the bridge. We hope to complete the loop on the east side one day. That plan has been developed and we continue to work on that. But obviously we need funding, we need advocacy. There's still naysayers out there that say it's not a good idea. We need your support with those things. What is a game changer now that we didn't have in 1994 is the bipartisan infrastructure law. That's the federal transportation bill that has provided lot of different funding opportunities for projects like this. We need to be active in pursuing that. We need to be active in encouraging our elected officials to put the match up. It's always about a 20% match for those projects, and we need to continue to advocate for these things. Again, thank you for your support in these things, and thank you for your vision and continuing to put your resources to these things. Thank you.
Just one word about the McCluggage Bridge. As you go across the trestle, about 100 yards or so, 200 yards past the trestle, Eureka Street takes off to the left and goes down to Adams Street, and that will be the access to get to the McCluggage Bridge. So that's a bit of the planning that we advocated for and has come to pass. And our last speaker today is very important. It's Brent Baker, who's the president of Bike Peoria. He gives us our guidance as to how to get things done. And without further ado, I'm just going to let Brent come up, introduce himself, and say what he has to say. Thanks, Brent.
Well, that's very, very generous of Mike. Thank you, Mike. That means a lot. My name is Brent Baker, and as Mike said, I'm the current president of an organization called Bike Peoria. So if anybody's not familiar with Bike Peoria, we're an organization that started in 2014, I believe, on paper. So we're a very plucky, all-volunteer-run organization. So today is pretty surreal for me, given that I'm about 34 years old. So I don't remember a time where we didn't have the Rock Island Greenway. Right? So like, and Mike shared earlier too, that our organizations merged in the recent past. So I had the opportunity to meet Mike a couple of years ago, and it happened via email. He reached out to me as the current president of Bike Peoria, and he was unsure of the future of the Friends of the Rock Island Trail. And I didn't know a whole lot of the history about the Rock Island Trail. I just took it for granted. So in conversation with Mike, realizing that we had the opportunity that, I was effectively standing on the shoulders of giants and doing this work of advocating for better multimodal infrastructure through the work at Bike Peoria, that we had an opportunity to join forces and really expand this work and keep the 60 years, almost 60 years, it goes beyond 1980, but the work that really started here locally to deliver this incredible asset that we have in the Rock Island Greenway. And so the vision that the Friends of the Rock Island Trail started with to create a world-class linear park that was then embraced by the Peoria Park District and then embraced by the City of Peoria with this collaboration, and now with funding resources through all three of these mechanisms and tri-county planning, we have the ability to continue to invest in this world-class linear park that now stretches many, many miles, and be able to continue to realize that vision, which is absolutely incredible. And I've been to a lot of press conferences about infrastructure projects, and very few of them are filled with this many people and this many users. So for us at Bike Peoria, our focus is really trying to make it safe and easy for people to travel by bike or by foot around the region. And so to do that, for us, advocacy, you've heard that word a couple times this morning, advocacy means going out and using the infrastructure, right? It's showing up to press conferences and showing up to meetings, but the way we do this work is with our feet. We vote with our feet, whether you're pedaling or you're walking. What you do on these trails and using this infrastructure is demonstrating that there's a need for it, that we want more of it, right? And so actually 2 years ago, with the support of the Peoria Park District, we put a trail counter out at the trail crossing where the Greenway crosses Prospect there in Peoria Heights. So we've been running almost 2 years to the date. I think it was in October of 2020. We heard during the pandemic, people are getting out and about, so we wanted to actually measure that. And over the last 2 years, there's been 130,000 people that have used the trail, that have crossed that point along Prospect, right? So just in the 2 years, right? And so during the peak months in the summer, there's 8,000 people a month that use that trail, at least at that one point, right? And that's just a couple blocks away from where we're sitting, as the crow flies along the trail, right? So what we're seeing today is making it easier for folks to continue their path down to the riverfront. And it's going to be easier to continue down the riverfront and then go across the bridge, which can connect to our friends over on the East Peoria side and have to Germantown Hills and Washington and the trail planning there. Our friends in East Peoria connecting the loop, as Eric said, around the bridges, then going out to Morton along the trail there. So this is really a critical piece to make it easier for folks to access downtown and then be able to go across the river and access the entirety of the trail. So it's truly an honor and a privilege to work with all of these incredible people on these projects, because really what we do is encourage people to go out and use the infrastructure and make noise and demand more of this. And so you heard everybody here that it's good to make noise, and we need to make more noise and go out and use more of the infrastructure and do more things so we can continue to grow this Greenway and really realize its vision. So thank you all for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brent. You and the others at Bike Peoria just do such a great job. And also, you may or may not know that Bike Peoria has a storefront up on Main Street. What's the number of the storefront?
612.
612, where they teach bike repairs. They repair bikes and provide them to kids. They're involved with providing bikes for some of the Bradley students. And also, you're now starting up again a bike rental program, and hopefully that'll be underway soon. So anyway, thank you all for coming. Now at the back there are goodies, and to save a bit of money, I decided to cater it myself. So you'll find a nice cake back there to be cut. Golly, I'm not sure it'll be enough to serve everybody, but anyway, you can open also the drinks back there. So please, I had so much fun at Schnucks buying all that stuff. Gosh, that was great. So please join in and help us eat it. Thank you.